Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to review the Netflix movie directed by Andy Serkis, Mowgli. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos every single day. You can also find me at Twitter at Movie Guy 365. So occasionally I like to check out not just the Blu-ray discs and the 4Ks, but I like to see what's bouncing around on the streaming services, because believe it or not, there are some very decent films that make our way across things like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, that kind of thing. So I've been kind of following this one for a while. It all started basically when Disney decided to produce their live-action Jungle Book. At the same time, Andy Serkis wanted to take a more a more faithful adaptation to Rudyard Kipling's Jungle Book story about Mowgli. So they were kind of in production right around the same time, and they didn't want to do a thing where like they would release, Volcano versus Dante's Peak. So, Andy Serkis basically decided just to halt production and just give the Jungle Book its due, because Disney's going to do Disney, and we have their, the Jon Favreau movie, which is very good. I really like it. Actually, it's a good adaptation of the animated film that they did. But I'm not really here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about Andy Serkis's movie. And I have to say, being on Netflix sometimes can have a stigma attached to it. There's been a thing going around pretty much the last couple of years where it's serving as the dumping ground for not great movies. And I feel that that kind of thought process can lead to people missing out on some very decent stuff. Recently we had the latest Cloverfield movie pretty much get dumped on Netflix, Cloverfield Paradox. I thought that was okay, but it wasn't anything that I really felt I needed to go back to. So when I heard that Mowgli was going to be ported over to Netflix and skipping the theatrical run entirely, I was a little concerned. I was pretty much thinking it was going to be not a great film, just kind of once again, a place where, films just go that aren't, great, good, or just mediocre, that kind of thing. It's just kind of like I said earlier, a dumping ground. But I did want to see it, and I keeping in mind that it was going to be more of an adaptation on the stories by Rudyard Kipling and not the Disney film. I'm very happy to say that Mowgli is a very good movie. In fact, in a lot of ways, I think it is better than the Favreau-directed Disney version. I guess you got to look at it from what is your takeaway from the story. Are you married to the Disney version, where you have the same characters essentially from both versions, and of course the stories, but I guess the Disney version is more of a safe kind of story. I felt that Mowgli definitely has a darker tale to tell, and while it doesn't veer into rated R territory, it is actually rated PG-13. It is a darker tale. And there were a lot of things I liked about this. A lot. To a fact that I'm still digesting it in a sense. There was, yes, a couple additions. It isn't a complete faithful adaptation to the actual story, but I enjoyed it. I thought the CG was very good, equally if on par with the Disney version. And the voice acting was really good. Benedict Cumberbatch, I don't think the man has a scary voice. I mean, you look at Smog and from the Hobbit movies, and he's got a voice, and he puts it on, He's a very terrifying Shere Khan. Baloo, what I appreciated about this version of Baloo is he wasn't just a goofball. Actually, there's like none of that in there. He's pretty serious. He's got an actual real arc and a plot in this version. one of the things I did like about, this is pretty much going to end up being a comparison to the Disney version. I apologize, but I just to get some points across for those that might be on the fence to see it or not. Murray is Murray, and I love Bill Murray. And it's no disrespect to Blue, as the Disney version, but in the Disney version, he's kind of a goof. This version, he's very down to business. He's kind of a badass, actually, and he does his thing. He's in a good portion of the movie. Now, narratively, they are almost complete opposites of each other in storytelling. So, if you look at the Disney version, both versions, the animated and the live action, it's the story elements are very similar to one another. But in this one, there are very different things that happen, and it's I don't want to go into spoiler territory. I normally avoid those in my videos, but you're not going to watch this and feel like, oh, I just saw this 2 years ago. It's a different tale. It's a different story. They end up in different places. How they get to A, B, C, D is completely different. I mean, yes, there are a few minor story beats that are similar, and you can A and B comparison all day long. But I feel that there's so much different that you are going to see a completely different movie, and it is definitely a darker version. I actually really enjoyed the young man that plays Mowgli in this version a lot more than the Disney version. I thought he was great, actually. It was, child actors or young actors can tend to make or break a movie, and I think they casted perfectly in this. He was great, and there's two scenes in particular which are both spoilery, so I won't get into. A range of emotion coming from him, in the first scene I'm thinking of, it almost broke my heart, and it got there. It was there. I really wish I could explain what it was, but let's just say it's a very heartbreaking scene, and you'll know it when you see it. But he's great in this. He is absolutely good. I think everybody did a wonderful job. Andy Serkis should be very proud of this film. It looks great. He does the voice of Blue. He's great in it. But everybody, and I feel in this version, gets their moment. We have Shere Khan and Ka and Baloo and Bikila and Akita, and I feel like everybody gets something redeeming about them and scenes that are key. And it works for me. It really does. That's not to say I won't ever go back to any of the Disney versions. I think it's going to be a matter of, are you feeling light? You go that way. You're feeling like more, you want a movie, like a good drama / action. I would go with Mowgli. And I really hope they do a disc version, either Blu-ray or 4K would just look phenomenal. I did watch it through my Apple TV. I watched it through Dolby Vision and with Dolby Atmos. I felt the Dolby Vision it looked beautiful. It really looked beautiful on screen. There was plenty to see. Nothing looked green screened, obviously. It's a beautiful looking film. And now as far as audio goes, I felt the audio was good, but I felt like it could have been a touch punchier. It could have had a little bit more going on. I didn't really get any good LFE. There were a couple moments here and there, but I felt the ambiance was also missing. It was, I think if there was a weak spot, it would be that. I think I would like to review this on a disc format. You can only do so much streaming, and I feel like to do a proper review of the audio, I would need the Atmos on disc. One day, hopefully, we will get it. I will absolutely, get that and review it. But yeah, overall, I think you should definitely, if you want a good movie that's not like what you've seen as a kid or you've seen with the Jon Favreau film, I highly recommend Mowgli. It's a great adaptation of the original stories. There's a lot to digest with it. There's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of, gut punch moments, and It's great. It's really great. I highly recommend it. So yeah, please go check it out. It's currently it's streaming on Netflix. I can't say enough. It's great. But yeah, please leave your comments below. Are you gonna check it out? Have you checked it out? So yeah, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I put out videos every single day. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.